from Red Zone Weather in Brewton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. A tropical weather update starts right now.
New tornado warning for Santa Rosa County, Florida until 9 a.m. local time. This is a tornado warning that's going to include Pace, Milton, Pea Ridge, Whitingfield, all the way up to Jay and Berrydale. A big chunk of Santa Rosa County now involved in a tornado warning, meaning you've got to take action to protect life and property as we could have a tornado moving in. Good Monday morning to you. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson. This is the second tornado warning of the day, and it's for parts of Santa Rosa County. So far, Santa Rosa County has not had a warning, but that has now changed as a big chunk of Santa Rosa County is now involved in an active tornado warning. Current time is 8:19 a.m. and the possible tornado is going to be down here on the southern flank of this storm, down here around Pace and Milton, and we're going to see exactly where these circulations are noted by the National Weather Service. But I can tell you this, there's no doubt at this point, if you are in Pace, Milton, or Pea Ridge, you need to be in that tornado safe place right now as we have possible tornadoes moving in. Also, in addition, it looks like we have a possible separate cell up here near Whitingfield. Let's go over to the velocity, or tell you what, before we do that, let's actually go to the watch warning map so I can show you exactly who's involved in the warning. And so here's the deal. If I call you out, you are now involved in this active tornado warning that's valid until 9 a.m. local time, meaning it's time now for you to take shelter and get to that tornado safe place. And so that includes Pace, Pea Ridge, areas here near Milton, also Whitingfield, Allentown, also areas near Central High School, areas near Pace High School. You've also got Florida Town, Mulat, also areas out here near Avalon Boulevard, Baghdad, Berrydale, also areas near Jay, Mount Carmel, Cobbtown, Fidelis, and also areas near Adventures Unlimited, Point Baker, Whitingfield, and also areas near Cobbtown and New York. Let's see if New York is technically in or out of the Polygon. New York is right on the edge. Chumuckla is out. So if you're at Chumuckla, you are okay. New York is in. Brownsdale is in. Also areas near Cobbtown, Berrydale, Fidelis, in. So those areas, you need to be taking your tornado warning precautions right now. Again, same thing at Allentown, areas near Central High School, Point Baker, Whitingfield, Milton, 5 Points, Woodbine, Pace, involved in this active tornado warning that's valid until 9 a.m. local time. Now, let's go over to the iPad so we can show you the velocity source on this. And there actually are multiple areas of rotation noted in through here. The most prominent one is going to be this one. And this is just to the north of Whitingfield, just to the north of Point Baker, moving off to the north. However, there also are some areas of circulation here near Milton. And we're getting a message from the Weather Service from Jason Beeman, who is the warning coordination meteorologist down at the National Weather Service in Mobile. He is saying that a couple areas of rotation have been noted with the same tornado warning in Santa Rosa County. Strongest one appears to be organizing north of Milton and south of Allentown. Storms are moving perpendicular to the radar beam, and he says we are not measuring the full rotation. So in other words, what's happening here, you don't have the best visual of these individual circulations, but nonetheless, that doesn't change the fact of what you can expect. Possible multiple tornadoes in through here near Milton and Baghdad, but again, the strongest area of rotation appears to be north of town, out here towards Adventures Unlimited, coming into areas near Berrydale and also Whitfield. If you're at the community of Whitfield along Florida State Highway 87, you need to be taking shelter right now as this possible tornado is lifting off to the north at about 35 miles per hour. On that trajectory, it's going to be very near Berrydale and Berrydale Crossroads right there, near the Dollar General and also near that gas station, the fire station, and the church right there at Berrydale in the next 10 minutes or so. So you need to be sheltered in Berrydale in the lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. You need to put on a helmet, something to protect your head, as we could have a tornado on the ground coming into areas near Berrydale. Now, let's go back into the southern end of the county. Take me back over to LD1, please, sir. Joined alongside executive producer Bruce Thompson early on this Monday morning. Very heavy rain is happening across much of the Milton area. Same thing at Pace, same thing at Pea Ridge, Mulat, areas near Garson Field, which is right there near Avalon Boulevard, near the Avalon Boulevard exit of Interstate 10. So we encourage no driving at this point on Avalon Boulevard, basically from the intersection there near the gas station right there where Witch used to be, across from where Kmart used to be. From there on Avalon Boulevard southward to Interstate 10, no driving at this point on Avalon Boulevard. Same thing, by the way, on US Highway 90 from, let's say, the Tom Thumb there at the intersection of Woodbine and 90, all the way back over to Milton. No driving on Highway 90. That's your main drag in Milton and Pace. You can't be driving at this point, as we could have gusty winds associated potentially with a developing tornado. And just to shoot it to you straight, it looks to me like this northern cell up north of Whiting Field, approaching areas near Whitfield, is clearly going to be the stronger storm in this particular scenario. Take me back to the iPad, please, sir. As going to look at this same area, but looking at the velocity view. Here's Pace, here's Milton. There is an area of rotation, but it looks to be more broad. But again, according to the Weather Service, they are thinking that there actually could be more here than what meets the eye. And so that's why we're encouraging everyone at Pace, Milton, Pea Ridge, areas near Mulat, and also near Avalon Boulevard to be in a safe place right now, as this possible tornado in through here could be lifting off to the north into Pace, Pea Ridge, and also Milton. But again, this northern cell in the same tornado warning box clearly is the one that appears to be stronger on radar at this particular moment. And we'll see what the Weather Service opts to do with this Polygon. They're issuing an update. We'll see if they cancel out Pace and Milton. Also, will you check really quickly and see if my audio is on? Yeah, I had a text from someone saying that my microphone was off, but that obviously was incorrect. So again, possible tornado is right here near Whitfield, and this is lifting off to the north into areas near Berrydale. And so again, the possible tornado is going to be coming into areas near Berrydale and Whitfield. That is the area of main concern at this point. And let's see what the Weather Service is going to do with this Polygon update, because they're actually going to keep the whole Polygon. And I think that's the right call, because again, clearly the main concern is coming into Berrydale and Whitfield, but you've got this secondary circulation down here happening near Milton and Pace at this point. So again, that could be an area of concern near Baghdad, near Milton, really coming into the heart of Milton right now. All of this area is currently under an active tornado warning as of 8:26 a.m. Let's go back over to LD2, and I want to put this radar into motion because we do have another tornado warning over here in parts of Jackson and Harrison counties in Mississippi. That one does include areas near Biloxi, and so if you're at Biloxi, tornado warning. Areas to the north of there as well. That also includes a part of Interstate 10. If you know someone traveling in southeast Mississippi on Interstate 10, that is a separate tornado warning. Storms currently happening in parts of Escambia, Conecuh, and Monroe counties are under severe limits for now, but just looking outside our window, it's very dark. We're seeing very heavy rain coming into the greater Brewton area from the west. And are you watching the comments on Facebook Live? That would be immensely helpful. If you are in any of these tornado warning boxes today, but specifically this one that's happening in Santa Rosa County, let us know what the weather is like in your location. Again, for folks in Pace, Milton, areas near Whiting Field, Allentown, also Berrydale, Whitfield, Fidelis, and Jay. You need to be in a safe place. It looks like the core of this tornado risk will move just to the east of Jay, but you are involved in this tornado warning Polygon in the town of Jay. And so we would encourage you to be in your tornado safe place as this continues to lift off to the north. And look, there's two involved here. This is not just one possible tornado, it's two. One happening here in the middle part of the Polygon, the other happening down here coming into Milton. So not one, but two. Just like that, moving like a train on a track to the north. Let's go back over to the iPad and we'll show you exactly what we're talking about in terms of these circulations, because again, it's near impossible to see these circulations on the classic reflectivity view. Here's one circulation near Milton and Pace. Here's another. This one's coming into areas near Berrydale. It's at Whitfield right now, so just down the road from Berrydale, coming into areas near, north of Allentown really at this point. But if you're in Allentown, we need you to stay in that tornado safe place, as there could be another tornado near Milton or Baghdad potentially developing now, lifting off to the north. It's basically going to parallel Highway 87. Now, it's impossible to know exactly where the possible tornado will be down, but we would encourage everyone from really Florida Town, Pace, Pea Ridge, Baghdad, Milton, points north out here towards Point Baker, to remain in your tornado safe place as a course of least regret. And hopefully what will happen is we'll get an update from the Weather Service giving us a good indication that the danger has passed. While we look at that, tell you what, take me back over to LD2 and we'll put this in motion so you can kind of watch the radar. We continue to track what is now Tropical Storm Ida, and obviously Ida is the issue responsible for all this mess that we are having in our area today. Flash flooding, heavy rain, and an ongoing tornado threat. If you'll take me to LD1, we'll show you Ida as the storm stands right now, because the center of the storm has actually emerged into Mississippi. This tropical storm is now lopsided in nature, and you can see where all of the impacts are happening associated with Ida on the eastern side of the center of circulation. The center is right here, very near Jackson, Mississippi at this point, but if you slice this thing in half, this is where all of the impacts are happening. So very heavy rain, torrential downpours of rain streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to be the trend that continues not only this morning, but extending into the afternoon and evening hours. This is not going to be a deal that just goes away out of the blue over the next few hours. We're going to continue to have heavy rain, tornadoes, and gusty winds being possible in the strongest of storms into the afternoon and the evening hours. Back over to LD2, because again, we're here because of this tornado warning that continues until 9 a.m. Current time is 8:30 a.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, joined alongside executive producer Bruce Thompson. And we're tracking two possible tornadoes at this point, one of which is coming into areas near Berrydale in the northern part of Santa Rosa County, Florida. We would encourage no travel at this point from Century all the way back to Munson on Florida State Highway 4. And so no travel on Highway 4 due to this impending tornado threat coming in from the south. Also, no travel on Florida State Highway 87 from Dixonville at the state line, from the Sandhandle Lotto store, all the way back down to Milton. You can't be traveling on Florida State Highway 87. Same thing on Florida State Highway 89 from the state line at J Road all the way back down to Point Baker. No travel on 89. And also all these county roads in through here. The one at Whitfield right there that goes in near the water tower and the fruit and vegetable stand, near the little car lot right there, we would encourage no travel on that county road either, as again, the possible tornado is very near that tall water tower at Whitfield. Across the street, I think you've got an Assembly of God church on the west side of the road on 87 there, and that's where your possible tornado could be coming into Berrydale from the south right now. Let's go back over to the iPad, and this tornado is very near those landmarks that I just called out. You're looking at northern Santa Rosa County at this point. Just to give you context, Jay is up here, Whitfield would be right here, and Berrydale would be right here. And so the possible tornado is right here, lifting off to the north just like that. We got a new message from the Weather Service, and they are trimming this polygon back. So that is good news. So what you're going to see here, let's take you over to LD2 and we'll show you the new polygons. Some good news to pass along. If you are in Milton, Pace, Pea Ridge, Garson Point, areas near Baghdad or Florida Town, we'll give you a tornado all clear for now. The tornado risk at those locations has come to an end, and clearly the risk is in the northern part of Santa Rosa County, Florida. So again, we're calling an all clear at this point for Milton, Pace, Florida Town, Baghdad, also areas near Point Baker and Point South. You now have no tornado warning. The polygon has been trimmed back, and this is exclusively an issue for the northern part of Santa Rosa County, Florida. Here's your new Polygon, and I say new, this has been updated. If you are at Allentown or Fidelis or Berrydale, areas near Whitfield, Jay, Mount Carmel, you remain involved in this tornado warning. This is the polygon that tells us who's in and who's out. And if you're inside this red zone in this particular polygon, you are involved in an active tornado warning until 9 a.m. local time. Let's show you the watch warning map. If you'll take me over to the other Doppler source, there we go. And again, just looking at that without the radar data, again, this is the red zone involved in the tornado warning. And so what that means is Allentown, Whitfield, Fidelis, Jay, you got to stay in that tornado safe place for the next 10 minutes or so. This is not going to be a long deal most likely, and I suspect based on the motion with this storm, it will probably move into Escambia County, Alabama, and we'll see if it holds its strength as it approaches places like Dixonville, Riverview, Travis Road, and ultimately East Brewton. This storm, now I'm not saying it's anywhere near the same intensity as what happened back on June 19th in Tropical Storm Claudette, but this storm is taking a very similar track to that storm. And so there is a chance that this could be a situation where we need a tornado warning a bit farther to the north in parts of Escambia County, Alabama. Places like Riverview, Dixonville, East Brewton, Kirkland, Appleton could go under a tornado warning next. So you're next in line, putting you on notice. If you're in the city of Brewton or East Brewton or Riverview, you may have a tornado warning in the next 10 minutes or so. So keep that in mind as we continue to track this storm. Back over to LD2, please, sir. And again, looking at a situation where we have this circulation center that has broadened out somewhat, we have evidence to believe, though, that there could be a possible tornado coming into areas very near Berrydale at this point, with the situation being a possible tornado here. Heavy rain, however, continues across this polygon. And you know the deal. If I'm talking about you, you have the warning, all right? It's not that we're ignoring everyone else, but we have to focus on the storm that could be producing damage and is a threat to life and property. So it's not that I'm ignoring you in other locations. We'll get to every other place at the end of this video once the imminent threat for a tornado passes. But again, the imminent concern is northern Santa Rosa County, and it's really the central part here near Berrydale Crossroads, under siege from what could be a potential tornado coming in from the south. And look, you know, all that heavy rain, it's about near impossible to see where the tornado is on that particular view, and that's why we rely on velocity data. So if you'll take me over to the iPad, I'll show you exactly why the Weather Service continues to warn for this possible tornado. Right in through here, it's broad. I tell you, it's really broad, and that's a good thing. If I back this up in time a little bit, you'll see that this signature was much more pronounced about 10 minutes ago, but what has happened, it really just has broadened out, and that is a good thing for folks downwind of this warning in Escambia County, Alabama. That lets us know that there's a good probability at this moment that you won't get an extension of this tornado warning into places like Brewton and areas out near the airport, the Brewton Municipal Airport and Riverview and East Brewton. But nonetheless, we continue to observe, though, that this whole band of showers and thunderstorms in through here continues to lift off to the north. And while it's doing so, it is producing transient areas of rotation. And so that's why we continue to get these occasional tornado warnings that continue to move off to the north. Again, watching the situation here, looking at numerous areas of heavy rain across the region. Let's go back over to LD1, and again, looking at very heavy rain as we go back over to the live radar. Let's go to the whole region, and you can see that across our region we have flash flood warnings that continue because of this. This big shield of rain continues to stream in from the south. And again, we're looking at this one tornado warning in Santa Rosa County, Florida, that continues for the next few minutes. We'll zoom back in because, again, this is the only warning that we have on the board at this time. And again, the possible tornado is very near Berrydale at this point, moving just like that. Possible tornado coming into areas near Fidelis, and also potentially even areas near Dixonville. But again, like we've been observing over the last few minutes, this thing could be lofted at this point. In other words, there may not actually be a tornado down, but there could be, all right? In a situation like this, it's increasingly difficult to see exactly the low levels of the atmosphere. In other words, where the tornado would be touching the surface of the earth and doing the damage. We don't have a good radar view into this particular part of Santa Rosa County, and thus could have a tornado somewhere near Berrydale lifting off to the north just like that, coming into Dixonville. I tell you what though, even if you don't have a tornado, the weather is absolutely gnarly outside. It is raining like cats and dogs in this tornado warning polygon, extending from Dixonville back down to areas near Whiting Field and also Pace and Milton, and in the city of Brewton and also the city of East Brewton. Very heavy rain at this point, but no imminent tornado risk for any part of Escambia County, Alabama. I see that the Weather Service has actually triggered a new flash flood warning, and this is going to be until, let's see what time this particular warning expires. 2:45 local time. So again, a new flash flood warning for this zone, basically from Pace back up to Brewton, due to this very, very heavy band of rain that continues to lift off to the north. We'll put the radar in motion so that you can see what has happened over the last hour. This band of rain has continued to progressively move to the east, and it's going to continue to do so pretty slowly over the next hour or so. What that means is heavy rain is likely to start in places like Evergreen, back over to Brooklyn, Andalusia, ultimately in about 2 to 3 hours. Same thing in Okaloosa County. It's been fairly quiet for the entire duration of this event for much of Okaloosa County, but that will begin to change as we get this band of rain that continues to move in. And keep in mind, a tornado watch does continue for Okaloosa, Butler, and also Covington counties. And look, we just got a new tornado warning. So this is going to be a new warning for parts of Escambia and Conecuh counties in Alabama. And so again, watching a new tornado warning that is now just coming on the board for parts of Escambia and Conecuh counties. We're going to send out a red zone weather app alert quickly, and then we'll tell you exactly who is involved in this tornado warning. This is going to be a new warning valid until 9:30 a.m. And this is going to be for the greater Brewton area and points just to the east of there. This is going to include parts of East Brewton as well. So again, if you're in Escambia County, Alabama, you should have just gotten a red zone weather app alert because of this new warning. So let's tell you who's involved in this. This is a continuation of this tornado warning, and it's due to the fact that we have evidence of a potential tornado coming into areas near Dixonville. This possible tornado is going to continue to lift to the north, and again, not saying that it's going to be as bad of a situation as what happened back on June 19th with that EF2 tornado barreling through East Brewton, Brewton, and ultimately Kirkland and Castleberry, but it is a very, very similar track. I'm talking very similar. It may be just to the east of where that other tornado track back in June happened, but it is eerily similar in terms of the track. So if you're in Brewton, the city of Brewton, Alabama, you've got to be in a tornado safe place right now. It doesn't matter specifically where you are in Brewton, also areas in East Brewton. Doesn't matter where you are specifically. If you are in East Brewton, Alabama, you get to that tornado safe place right now. Don't wait, as the possible tornado will be very near you in about 5 minutes. Same thing anywhere near Travis Road, Dixonville, also areas near Boykin. Boykin is right here. You've also got areas near Ridge Road and Rock Hill, right in through here. You need to be sheltered. All right, same thing at Castleberry. You've also got Appleton involved in the tornado warning and areas out here near Kirkland. You are involved in the new tornado warning valid until 9:30 as well. This is going to include D.W. McMillan Memorial Hospital and also all parts of the Brewton City school system. Did BCFs have school today? I don't know if they did or not. They went to school. Yeah, the county did not. Escambia County, Alabama, I believe, did not. So that would include the W.S. Neal schools. They would be out, but if you're near W.S. Neal Elementary, Middle, or High School, you need to be in your tornado safe place. Brewton City Schools, T.R. Miller High School, needs to be implementing their tornado safety plan right now, as this possible tornado is going to be approaching from the south in about 10 minutes or so. This warning also does include a part of Conecuh County, including Evergreen, Point South, Castleberry, Jay Villa, Nymph, also Johnsonville, areas near Lenox involved in this warning as well. But let's get through the Escambia County part first. And if you will take me over to the radar system, Bruce, LD2 please, we'll look at exactly what we have on radar, because this possible tornado has developed very near Dixonville, and right in through here where you see this zone, it has really ramped up in through here. Could have a possible tornado coming into areas near Ridge Road imminently. And so I think that it looks like the greatest tornado risk for the greater Brewton area will be a bit to the east, very similar to what happened back on June 19th, but we can't rule anyone out. If you were involved in this tornado warning, you certainly need to be sheltered. Let's get in there pretty tight so I can kind of paint the picture for you here. So here's Brewton. The city of Brewton is here. Downtown is here. This is East Brewton, Rock Hill. This is going to be US Highway 29. That line right there is Ridge Road. And this is going to be Martin Luther King Drive that turns into Kirkland Road right here. And so if you're in any of those areas that I just called out, you need to be taking shelter right now. And for us, you know what? We're going to be included in this tornado warning as well. So we're going to have to get sheltered in just a minute as well. This thing is going to be very near our studio location. And so what that means is I'm going to ask you if you'll go ahead and get sheltered. I'll stay on the wall for a bit longer. But again, for what seems like the 5th time in the last few years, we're going to have to take shelter here at our Brewton, Alabama studio location, as this possible tornado is passing close enough to us that we're going to get sheltered. So again, you're getting sheltered at this point. And tell you what, take down that banner and just, we'll let it ride. You don't have to move it. We'll just operate from LD1. Put it on the iPad real quick before you go get in that shelter. And again, your possible tornado is going to be right in through here. This is very near East Brewton and Brewton, coming into areas out here near Rock Hill, and ultimately this is going to be an issue pretty quickly for Kirkland and areas out here near Smith Road in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So again, this is a possible tornado that has developed very quickly ahead of this weakening circulation that we were tracking in northern Santa Rosa County. You can see that the lightning output has really ramped up over the last few frames, which could be indicative of a tornado on the ground. Let's go back over to LD1, and again, 2, let's put it on 2 and leave it there. Bruce is going to get sheltered. I'm going to be getting sheltered shortly. But again, for folks in Brewton, doesn't matter specifically where you are, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now. And what that means is lowest floor, site-built structure away from windows and doors. You want to put as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Don't play with this. There could be a very brief spin-up tornado, and if it happens to affect your home, it's obviously a big deal, or your place of business. Let's look down the road, though, because again, this is going to be an issue for Conecuh County as well. Anywhere along US Highway 31 extending from downtown Evergreen back down to the city of Brewton, that corridor of 31 is involved in this tornado warning. And so if you live within 5 miles in any given direction of Highway 31 from Evergreen back down to Brewton, you need to be in your tornado safe place. That includes Castleberry. That also includes El Pond, areas near El Pond Church of Christ, there along Conecuh County Highway 6. You've also got areas near Johnsonville, Nymph, also Franklintown, Old Sparta, Jay Villa, Evergreen, Lenox, Sandcut, and Appleton involved in this tornado warning for parts of Conecuh County, valid until 9:30 a.m. So again, tracking a possible tornado that has developed near Rock Hill, Alabama, out on Ridge Road, just to the east of the greater Brewton area. And let's go ahead and zoom out across the entire region, because again, it has really been an active morning. Several tornado warnings already, more on the way. So even though you're in a tornado warning right now in Fidelis, in Berrydale, in Brewton, in Dixonville, in East Brewton, all the way up to Evergreen, there may be more warnings throughout the day. We have a tornado watch that continues until 4 o'clock for all of our local area. It doesn't matter specifically where you are, you're involved in this tornado watch, meaning conditions remain ripe and favorable for the development of more tornadoes over the next few hours. But again, the imminent concern is for areas right now in Escambia County, Alabama. Let's zoom into the greater Brewton area. And I tell you, I think that this circulation is going to remain a bit farther to the east of where I am located. And so I'm just going to hang out on the wall, but our folks in this building are going to remain sheltered. This possible tornado, it appears, is going to be out here. I'm telling you, this is very, very similar to the track of the June 19th EF2 tornado. Not saying that this is going to be an intense tornado as that one was in Tropical Storm Claudette, but nonetheless, we certainly could have a brief spin-up tornado happening on the eastern side of the city of Brewton, coming into areas near Kirkland, out here towards the railroad tracks, and also this is very near where you have Murder Creek in this area that runs to the east of the greater Brewton area. And so again, watching this circulation, let's go back over to the iPad if we can do that, please. If you can control that from where you are, that would be helpful. Let's go to the iPad source. There we go. And again, watching this possible tornado that has developed here, it looks like this is going to miss most of the greater Brewton area off to the east. All right, so it looks like the core circulation is going to be about 2 to 3 miles, very close, enough to include the city in the tornado warning. But nonetheless, it appears that this is going to miss the core greater Brewton area just to the east. And again, very, very eerily reminiscent track of the June 19th tornado. So this is clearly an imminent concern for areas out here near Kirkland. Also ultimately going to be an issue for areas near Smith Road and also Castleberry in southern Conecuh County. Have you seen any reports of damage? Okay, good. Any reports of power outages? I've had no reports of power outages over the last few minutes. If your power is out anywhere across our region, not just in this tornado warning polygon, let us know, please, in the comments below. Even if you don't have tornado damage in your location, if your power is out and you can let us know, that could be a sign that storm damage has happened near you, and that could be why your power is out. So let us know about that in the comments below. And again, this cell that's just to the east of the greater Brewton area continues to cycle up and down, but clearly the imminent risk of a tornado appears to be on the eastern side of Brewton. Really, it looks like to the east of where you have the CSX railroad line and also Murder Creek out here. This is going to be an issue more for areas near Kirkland and Castleberry, it looks like. But we cannot give anyone an all clear just yet in the city of Brewton or East Brewton, because again, this circulation is so close that I just want to be safe. I want everyone to remain safe and remain in that tornado safe place for the next 5 minutes, and I should be able to give you an all clear. Let's go back over to LD2, please. And again, we're also tracking a storm in Santa Rosa County. Let's go back to that storm briefly. And let me look at the situation as it stands, because this is more of an area of heavy rain. There is a technical tornado warning that continues for Allentown, Fidelis, Berrydale, also areas near Mount Carmel, Jay, big chunk of Florida State Highway 87 and Florida State Highway 4. But it appears that the tornado risk with this is fairly low based on the signature. There's actually an area of rotation that's developing outside of the warning that could be coming into Munson. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to extend a new warning for that part of Santa Rosa County. But again, we are here to talk about this ongoing tornado situation for Escambia and Conecuh counties in South Alabama. This possible tornado is now very near Kirkland, lifting off to the north. And so what that means is if you are in the city of Brewton, Alabama, most likely the tornado is now past you. But again, I don't like giving an all clear prematurely. I don't do that. And so we want everyone in the city of Brewton to remain sheltered. However, I can tell you this based on the signature, If you are in East Brewton or Riverview, I'll give you a temporary tornado all clear. And I say temporary, there may be more warnings later. But again, East Brewton, Riverview, Dixonville, we can give you a tornado all clear for now. But again, we're calling the city of Brewton to remain sheltered for the next 3 minutes or so until this circulation clears out. It appears that this will be more of an issue for the eastern part of Brewton and also coming into areas near Smith Road and Kirkland out and through here. This is US Highway 31, that thicker gray line that you see there. Smith Road is here. This is going to be Conecuh County Highway 6 right here. This is Appleton Road over here. Sandcut is here. Downtown Castleberry per se is here. You got the Dollar General, the post office areas here near the downtown, and the railroad tracks right in through there continue to be under a tornado warning. And we've got a Polygon update to pass along from the Weather Service. Let's see what they do with this Polygon, because this is about to change, and we're going to see exactly what they have done with this particular continuation. So while we wait on that to pop up on our system, let me check our NWS chat feed and see exactly what we're hearing from the National Weather Service about this warning. This statement was issued by the Weather Service at 8:53 a.m., which is now. As of 8:53, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 6 miles northeast of Brewton in these same general areas that we've been talking about, areas near Kirkland and Smith Road, moving to the north at 35 miles per hour. Go back over to the iPad, Bruce, because at this point, I think it's prudent to go ahead and give the city of Brewton an all clear from this possible tornado. Possible tornado is right up in through here near Kirkland and Smith Road, coming into areas near and just to the east of the Brewton Country Club. And so we can give the city of Brewton an all clear at this point. What that means is if you're at D.W. McMillan Memorial Hospital, also areas near Westgate Village, which is the Crown Healthcare facility here in the city of Brewton. Also, all Brewton City schools, T.R. Miller High School, Brewton Middle School, Brewton Elementary School, you get an all clear. Same thing with the major employers, Georgia Pacific, also areas near Brewton Iron Works, and even up here on the north side of town, Walmart, we can give you all those areas that I just called out an all clear, as the tornado threat has now shifted to the north. And now this is going to be an issue for Kirkland and points north, back up to Castleberry and areas near Sandcut, perhaps as far on the western side of the warning there. So let's go back over to LD2, please. And just to kind of set the scene for what we're looking at, this is an outer rain band of what was Hurricane Ida. This is now Tropical Storm Ida. The system has weakened some as the center of the storm is now back over Mississippi. It's actually outside of this radar view because we're looking at the tornado warned storm from the Eglin Air Force Base radar over in Walton County. It's a better vantage point for this group of storms on the eastern flank of this big area of heavy rain. And so watching a tornado warned storm near and just north of the city of Brewton. But again, at this point, it is reasonable to conclude that the tornado danger in the city of Brewton has at least temporarily come to an end. And so we can give you an all clear for now. Let's stop the radar. And again, the heaviest rain with this storm is happening very near where your possible tornado could be, right in through here near Kirkland. And again, I've said this several times, I'll say it again for folks that just may be joining us. Back on Saturday, June 19th, we had an EF2 tornado that was on the ground for 22 miles, associated with an outer rain band of what was Tropical Storm Claudette that day. It did a plethora of damage in parts of Brewton, East Brewton, areas near Kirkland. And while this tornado is likely not in a similar damage category, in other words, it probably is not as strong based on the signature, that path is going to be very similar. If indeed we've had a tornado down, it likely followed a very similar path to what happened back on June the 19th. And those of you that live in Castleberry, just to the south and just to the west of town, you remember that there was pretty substantial damage in Castleberry as well. And so what I'm telling you, if you're in Castleberry, especially here along County Highway 6, from Sandcut all the way back over to Castleberry and really over to Elk Pond as well, you need to be in a tornado safe place right now, as this possible tornado is lifting off to the north at a very rapid clip. again, possible tornado will be near Castleberry. Over the next few minutes. And y'all know the drill. If I go silent for a minute, just bear with me. We got so many things going on here in the studio that we want to make sure that we're sifting over all the information and getting it right for you. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent in ground truth reports this morning. We've had a ton of viewer photos and videos sent in, and obviously all those are tremendously helpful. And so thanks to everyone who's done that. By the way, if you're involved in this tornado warning, do not try to get out and get any photos. Do not try to get out and see if there's been any damage. This area continues to be in an outer rain band that could briefly spin up yet another tornado. And again, the concern today is going to be these tornadoes that develop very quickly, similar to what just happened here on the eastern side of the city of Brewton, mainly in areas out here near Rock Hill on the eastern side of East Brewton as well, out on Ridge Road. That's where the storm really started ramping up, but as of now, it's somewhat degraded in its overall appearance. Let's go back over to the iPad, please, sir, and we'll show you the velocity. Because again, this signature has broadened out somewhat. That could be potentially a tornado-producing storm very near Smith Road, coming into areas near Castleberry, moving just like that. But again, the signature is so broad that it's questionable if a tornado would be down with that signature. But regardless, maybe you're joining us for the first time this morning. This tornado warning did include part of or really the entirety of the city of Brewton, but this tornado danger at this point has passed Brewton to the north. Now, I realize if you're using a weather app, maybe you're using our free Red Zone weather app. I realize that Brewton is still shaded in this polygon, but clearly the tornado danger is now on the north side of town, about 5 to 6 miles to the north of Brewton, really near and just north of the Brewton Country Club at this point, out on Highway 31 or very near there, coming into Castleberry from the south. So we'll see if the Weather Service decides to keep this warning going or not. And looking at, let's go back over to LD2, please. Looking at this outer rain band that continues to produce intermittent areas of rotation also in Santa Rosa County. By the way, that warning box that was in effect for Jay, Berrydale, Fidelis has gone away. That tornado warning box is now off the board, and Santa Rosa County, it doesn't matter specifically where you are in Santa Rosa County, will give you an all clear from the imminent tornado threat. Now, heavy rain, lightning, occasional loud thunder, and these intermittent areas of rotation will continue. And I say intermittent areas of rotation to say we may get another tornado warning for parts of Santa Rosa County before this is all said and done. So don't let your guard down, but from the imminent tornado threat, it's over for now in Santa Rosa County, Florida. However, in Escambia County, Alabama, and parts of Conecuh County, the tornado warning continues. So again, this is the area that we're most concerned about at this point, coming into areas near Castleberry and also areas near El Pond, Nymph, J Villa, Old Sparta, Evergreen, and even Belleville at this point. Red Zone Weather sponsor WLT Tree Work. The office sits right here on US Highway 84. And so if you know where WLT Timber Office is, right here near Belleville, that area is under the gun from this possible tornado that could be lifting off to the north. And by the time it gets there, there's a real chance that the storm has faded away. But near Middleton Field, which is the Evergreen Airport right in through here, near I-65, basically from exits 77, which is the Brewton exit, all the way up to exit 96, which is the Evergreen exit, we encourage no travel at this point because, again, you could have a tornado moving in from the south just like that. Just got a message from an official at T.R. Miller High School. They were in the shelter. They did the right thing. They took shelter when this tornado warning was issued for the greater Brewton area, but they are now out of the tornado shelter, I believe, based on this message. And so that is good. That is excellent. Anytime there's a tornado warning, we want all our students to be sheltered as we all remember what happened back on March the 1st of 2007 when the EF4 tornado moved across Enterprise High School over in Enterprise, Alabama. A disaster happened there, but fortunately today we are actually very near T.R. Miller High School, and I can tell you everybody's A-OK at T.R. Miller today. And so while Brewton City Schools did have school today, everybody is A-OK in the city school system at this point. And I've heard of no injuries, I've heard of no damage, I've heard of nothing perilous per se that has happened in the city of Brewton due to this possible tornado. And look, where this thing formed, it was in a very rural part of the county, just to the east of the greater Brewton area out here off Ridge Road, probably just to the north of Ridge Road. And so at this point, it has moved to the north, and this possible tornado could be very near Castleberry, moving just like that, basically due north at about 35 miles per hour. This is going to end up near the I-65 rest area. If you're familiar with this area, we'll kind of zoom in and show you that this is the interstate, that thicker gray line that you see right in through here. Sandcut is here. That's where the water tower is on Appleton Road. Right there at Sandcut. This is going to be Conecuh County Highway 6 right here. And that rest area of I-65 sits right here. And so if you're near that rest area, within 5 miles of that rest area in any given direction, you need to be in a tornado-safe place, as we could have a possible tornado basically on the western side of Castleberry moving just like that. We do not know if this tornado is down, but there is good radar evidence to suggest that we could have some circulation in the atmosphere that could be producing a tornado. Take me back over to the iPad and we'll show you that. And let me actually switch my radar to the Mobile one and see exactly how that data looks. Right in through there is going to be your possible tornado, and this is lifting off to the north just like that. And so again, on that trajectory, it's going to be most likely near the I-65 rest area and ultimately going to cross the interstate and end up near Middleton Field on the south side of US Highway 84 in Conecuh County. So again, possible tornado lifting to the north away from the greater Brewton area, East Brewton, and also Riverview. Those three communities, all clear. If you missed it earlier, Riverview, Dixonville, Brewton, also areas near Kirkland at this point. If you're at Kirkland, we'll give you an all clear. Areas near the Brewton Country Club, about 6 miles north of town, we can give you an all clear at this point. The tornado risk has ended for now, but a tornado watch does continue for the next few hours. Let's go back over to LD2. And again, watching this train of thunderstorms that continues to lift off to the north on the eastern fringe of this very heavy area of rain associated with what once was Hurricane Ida, now a tropical storm centered back over Mississippi. We're about to get a new advisory, by the way, for Ida in the next 30 minutes or so, and so we'll pass that along when we get it. But again, watching this area of rotation that has really dwindled in its overall strength, currently situated very near Castleberry at this point. There is a real chance, I believe this warning, if I'm not mistaken, goes until 9:30 a.m. Yes, indeed it does. There's a real chance we may get a cancellation, but I don't want folks in Conecuh County specifically to let your guard down just yet, as we may have a possible tornado moving into areas near Castleberry, just to the west of there perhaps, lifting off to the north. So let me zoom in on our system so you can get a better vantage point for where the warning is right now. And again, this thing is going to be very near Castleberry at the moment, lifting off to the north towards the rest area of I-65. I can tell you this, if you're at Lenox at this point, we'll give you a tornado all clear. If you are at Lenox, where the crossroads are, you need to, you can come out of that tornado hiding place, I should say, as it looks like this possible tornado is clearly going to pass to your east. But again, for folks at Belleville, folks at Evergreen, as a course of least regret, I probably would be in my tornado safe place just to be safe. It looks like this thing has dwindled out somewhat, but you remain in the tornado warning polygon, and thus we encourage you to maintain your shelter at this point. Tell you what, if you have been, or I should say, if you are in Covington or Okaloosa counties, you've been wondering, what is all the fuss about? Through this whole hurricane, you have been A-OK in Covington and in Okaloosa County. Crestview, Destin, Niceville, Andalusia, Ott, Florala. Look at that. There's hardly any rain happening. There is a shower happening out here near the Blackwater River State Forest near Baker, but most of the county is dry. That is going to change over the next little bit. This heavy band of rain is going to continue moving in, and if you're at Andalusia, you're going to have heavy rain most likely over the next 2 to 3 hours or so as this outer rain band moves in. The Weather Service is opting to continue the tornado warning, and they are saying that this possible tornado is very near Castleberry at this point. By the way, there's your Polygon update. As we've been advertising for the last 10 minutes, there is no imminent tornado danger at Brewton at this point, and there hasn't been for about 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes the Weather Service a little bit of time to update these tornado warning polygons, as they are so busy and doing a fantastic job in these hurricane operations that it's hard for them to update the polygons with pinpoint accuracy. But that's why we are here. We're here to give you the latest as it happens on radar, to give you a play-by-play. And right now, your possible tornado is clearly in Conecuh County at this point. The Weather Service did leave a part of that polygon in place for the leading edge of this batch of storms that's currently happening near Rock Hill and Boykin. But if you're in Boykin or areas to the east of there, Holmesville, also areas near Damascus and Dixie, you are okay right now. This is the far eastern end of Escambia County, Alabama, and those areas are A-OK right now. No warning for those locales. Same thing at Bradley, same thing at Alaflora, same thing at Travis Road and also Dixonville. No issues outside of this tornado warning polygon. And again, the clear tornado threat at this point is near Castleberry in Conecuh County, but the reason they left this polygon up is the leading edge of this storm could briefly ramp up and produce gusty winds, maybe even a tornado if it strengthens. And so, anytime you have a situation like that with a big batch of storms moving in, I think it's prudent to be very liberal with the polygons and leaving those tornado warnings in place. You certainly never want to give an all clear before the all clear actually happens, because that would be disastrous in some cases. Let's go back over to the iPad. This possible tornado is at Castleberry right now, or perhaps just to the north of there. You're looking at Conecuh County. All of this is Conecuh County. Here's Evergreen up here, Castleberry is here, Middleton Field and the Evergreen Airport right here. This is I-65. This is Escambia County down here, and you've got Highway 31 that ultimately goes down to Brewton. Possible tornado is going to be very near Castleberry. Thinking about this area, you've got areas near Seaman Timber Company, also areas near the post office, the Dollar General, areas on the north side of town near the gas station, and also, and I'm going to botch this because I do every single time, there's that facility that I pronounce it Weyerhaeuser, but I think that's incorrect. I've been harassed multiple times about the pronunciation of that company, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Near Weyerhaeuser and also near the Gyungtech plant. I'm sure I botched that as well. On the north side of Castleberry, you've got the two manufacturing facilities out here near where that possible tornado could be right now. And so this possible tornado is going to continue to basically parallel Highway 31 between Castleberry and Evergreen, coming up into areas near Fairview. If you're familiar with this area, that's where Highways 84 and 31 come together at exit 93. Exit 93 is right here. You've got Middleton Field here. This is Interstate 65. Those areas are where we're expecting imminent tornado issues if they are happening in our local area. By the way, also for the folks that may be pulled off on the side of the interstate, we encourage no travel on I-65 from exit 77, which is the Brewton exit, all the way back up to exit 96, which is the Evergreen Midway exit there at the city of Evergreen. But for folks that have pulled off the interstate at exit 93, I would get inside. You've got the Love's gas station, the Love's truck stop there. on the western side of 65 right there at exit 93. If you're at that gas station, you need to get inside. You don't need to be in your car or your truck, or maybe you're driving a big truck. You don't need to be in a vehicle. You need to be inside, away from windows. And this is certainly not the best tornado signature that I've seen. This has fizzled out somewhat, but there still could be a tornado touching the ground, doing damage at this point in southern Conecuh County. Back over to LB2, and we'll show you that this band of showers and thunderstorms that stretches from that area that I was just talking about here in Conecuh County extends all the way back down to the Gulf of Mexico. And so what we're telling you, this band of showers and thunderstorms is going to keep pushing east, ultimately moving into Okaloosa and Covington counties over the next few minutes. Heavy rain likely near Boggs and Boulders, near Brooklyn, near Paul, near Melrose over the next 20 minutes or so as this band of storms continues to move in. Same type story down here in Okaloosa County. Very heavy rain is going to begin shortly near Fort Walton Beach, Mary Esther, also near Crestview, Harold, Holt, right in through here. And so that's that line of thunderstorms. Looking at a new flash flood warning that has just been issued. This is going to be for parts of Conecuh, Escambia, Alabama, Okaloosa, and Santa Rosa. And these are those exact same areas that I've just been talking about. You are now under a flash flood warning if you are in the city of Brewton, Brooklyn, also areas near Holt, Harold, areas just to the west of Baker. Also, Navarre is now under a flash flood warning. So again, Navarre, flash flood warning, very heavy rain is moving through, but for now, there is no tornado threat in Navarre. And let's go back to the iPad and look across the region at reflectivity, or excuse me, velocity, I should say, because at this point, we don't see any specific areas of concern in Santa Rosa County. There are intermittent, transient areas of rotation. There's one right here that's going to come into Munson, another broad area of rotation right in through here, very near Eglin Air Force Base property that's going to come into Holt and Harold, and several weak areas of rotation out over the Gulf, ultimately going to move into Navarre, but all of that is under severe limits at this time. So that certainly is a good thing. And let's zoom into our storm in Conecuh County, because again, this is the only tornado warning that we have on the board as of, what time is it? 9:15 a.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, joined alongside executive producer Bruce Thompson, and this is an active tornado warning that continues for Conecuh County specifically, for areas near Castleberry and Evergreen, very near and just to the west of Old Sparta and Jay Villa. Possible tornado is in through here, and this is moving just like that towards Middleton Field. If you are at the Evergreen Airport right now, you need to be sheltered, all right? Same thing at Evergreen, same thing at exit 93 near the Love's truck stop. Possible tornado is going to be moving in from the south, and we will see if the Weather Service decides to extend that warning into Conecuh County, or into northern Conecuh County, I should say, over the next few minutes. Let's go back over to LD2, because if they extend this, this is going to include places like Lieffian, also Skinnerton, Commerce. You've got the community of Bowles, which sits right here on Alabama Highway 83, putting you on notice you may go under a tornado warning if this signature continues to apparently just exist. And so it's a very broad signature, but according to the Weather Service and their assessment, they believe that there could be a tornado in through here, and we certainly want to respect this tornado warning that continues for much of south central Conecuh County. Again, if you get a tornado warning, it's going to be in this general part of Conecuh County near the Alabama Highway 83 corridor over the next few minutes. Let's zoom out across the region, and I'll put this in motion so you can get a better idea of what's happening in your hometown across the region while I kind of peer off camera to see what we've got going on some of our other sources. Again, thank you to everyone who has sent in those ground truth photos from across the region. We certainly appreciate that. Getting a video of lightning in the Milton area. Also, several videos highlighting the heavy rain and flash flooding situation across our region. And I tell you what, the storm surge situation over in Louisiana with this landfalling Hurricane Ida has been something else. There has been damage in Louisiana that has exceeded what happened during Hurricane Katrina in terms of the power transmission lines over there coming into the city of New Orleans, absolutely massacred and destroyed by this horrible hurricane. We were told earlier that something like 12 out of 13 of the main transmission lines into New Orleans were very much heavily damaged by this hurricane. And we're so thankful that in our specific area, so far, I do not know of any power outages. If your power is out and you're watching this feed, regardless of where you are, let me know in the comments below. That is immensely helpful to let us know where there could be some weather damage happening. Even if you didn't get tornado damage at your specific house, if your power is out, that sometimes lets us know that there could be tornado damage perhaps right down the road from you. And so let us know if your power is out in the comments below, and we'll watch those to see if we get any reports. But I know of no power outages at this point, and that is a blessing because nobody likes to be without power. We're certainly grateful for our wonderful Red Zone Weather sponsors, EREC and also Southern Pine Electric Cooperatives in this general area where you have your ongoing tornado warning and points back to the south. That's EREC. But your tornado warning is in effect for parts of Conecuh County, and the possible tornado is going to be in through here near Middleton Field, coming into areas near and just to the east of Evergreen, or excuse me, west of Evergreen over the next few minutes. We'll zoom in real tight, and you see Middleton Field. That's the Evergreen Airport. Belleville is here. Old Sparta is here. This is going to be US Highway 31 right here. This is Interstate 65, and this is US Highway 84. And so possible tornado is now very near Middleton Field, about to exit the Polygon. I would imagine that the Weather Service is going to have to do something about this. We will see if they're going to cancel this or issue a new warning. And I would suspect, based on the signature, that they would cancel this, but we don't know that for sure just yet. We'll keep you posted and let you know if we get another tornado warning for parts of northern Conecuh County. Again, we called that out earlier. If you know someone in Owasso, areas near Burnt Corn, also Bowles, Lieffian, Commerce, also areas out near Midway, there along the Conecuh-Monroe County line, tag them, let them know that a tornado warning may be coming shortly for those areas. We just don't know if the Weather Service is going to choose to issue a tornado warning for northern Conecuh County just yet. Let's see if we can see this area of concern in northern Conecuh County, a separate circulation, and it's mighty broad. I mean, there is not good evidence on radar that there's a tornado down, but you want to respect this tornado warning that's in southern and really central Conecuh County at this point, as we have, again, a tornado warning until 9:30 a.m. Current time is 9:21 a.m., so 9 more minutes. We'll see what the Weather Service decides to do on this. Tell you what, while we wait on their decision, I'm going to see if we can show you the big satellite view of what is now Tropical Storm Ida. This is now a tropical storm situated over Mississippi in terms of the center of circulation. Let's go back over to LV1 and we'll show you that Ida is centered very near Jackson, Mississippi. This is the infrared satellite shot. We'll put this in motion for you. And I want you to notice where all of the deeper convection with this degrading hurricane is. They're going to cancel the tornado warning. So we now have no more tornado warning for Conecuh or Escambia counties. If you are in Evergreen, areas near Castleberry, Jay Villa, also Old Sparta, Middleton Field, and all of the areas that we previously called out, you are now no longer involved in a tornado warning. So there are no active tornado warnings as of 9:22 a.m. and we are so thankful for that. It has been a very busy morning around here. Wouldn't be shocked if we had a few more warnings before the end of the day. But let's talk about Tropical Storm Ida as it stands right now. Center of circulation is very near the city of Jackson, Mississippi. And so the center is moving just like that, due north at this point. And let's actually pull up the latest information from the Hurricane Center, because they're going to issue a new advisory shortly at 10 a.m. But as of 7 a.m., the center of what is now Tropical Storm Ida is located about 65 miles to the south-southwest of Jackson, Mississippi, moving north at 8 miles an hour. You remember when this thing made landfall yesterday, about 20 hours ago, down here on the Louisiana coast near Grand Isle, it was moving at about 15 miles an hour. It started slowing down at landfall, moved to the northwest at about 12 miles an hour. What has happened? It slowed down more, but it is moving. Unlike what happened with Hurricane Sally last year, where the thing just sat over the northern Gulf of Mexico and produced a ton of tornado warnings, tremendous wind impacts, and flash flooding for what seemed like days. This one is not the same story. Ida is going to continue to move to the north. And let's actually zoom out so you can see a better, wider view. This is an expansive tropical storm, and all of these impacts are going to continue across our local area, extending into central Alabama. If you will, I don't know where my, do you see my, yeah, hand me my clicker if you will, please. And what we'll do is take you through the graphics real quick to show you exactly what you can expect over the next few hours, because we do have an ongoing tornado risk. If you'll hit the icon next to radar scope there on the bottom, please, sir, that would be helpful. And we will go into presentation mode so that we can show you exactly what we're expecting over the next few hours. There we go, thank you. And there we go. If you will take me back over to the graphics, we'll show you that we have an ongoing tornado risk for our local area today. This is valid today into tonight. We're involved in this level 2 risk, which means more tornadoes will be possible over the next few hours. But you note that Central and North Alabama is involved in a level 1 tornado risk. This is in place exclusively due to the potential for tornadoes today. And again, across the state of Alabama, across Mississippi, and all of the Florida Panhandle, we all have a tornado risk today. Locally, it looks just like that. And unfortunately, even in the overnight hours, not a zero tornado risk. In fact, here's the outlook for tomorrow, valid for Tuesday, showing the potential for more tornadoes for the Florida Panhandle and also southeast Alabama. And so we'll keep watching that. Let's go back over to the radar source, and we'll show you that the Weather Service has now expired the tornado warning that was in effect. What's left is a big mass of showers and thunderstorms that's going to continue across our region over the next few hours. Very heavy rain continues across our area, and the majority of our local area is now under a flash flood warning. If I call out your county, there is a part of your county that's under a flash flood warning. Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, Wilcox, all of Escambia, Alabama, all of Mobile, all of Baldwin, all of Escambia, Florida, and all of Santa Rosa counties now involved in a flash flood warning. And I see that the Weather Service has opted to issue a flash flood warning for the far western part of Okaloosa County and places near and just west of Mary Esther and near and just west of Baker, involved in a new flash flood warning. Very heavy rain going to continue to stream in to Covington and Okaloosa counties over the next hour. If we have more tornado warnings, of course, we'll jump back on Facebook Live to bring you the very latest. But as of the current time, which is 9:26 a.m., we have no active tornado warnings. On behalf of all of us at Red Zone Group LLC, I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson saying goodbye for now. Have a good Monday. More updates coming in the Red Zone Weather app.
Be sure to find us across social media, and don't forget to download the free Red Zone Weather app and set up your customized alerts. Please support our Red Zone weather sponsors who make our coverage possible every single day.